From 2001 to the present, both Team Red and Team Blue have repeatedly expanded federal authority through surveillance, emergency powers, executive action, and bureaucratic governance, proving that electoral change alone has not reversed the long-term centralization of power in the United States. This is why I've been saying no matter who we vote for, we continue on the path toward authoritarianism or totalitarianism. Now, I broke down just a few examples from each administration in this century, so let's go through it. George W. from 2001 to 2009. What did he bring us? The largest expansion of the surveillance state with the Patriot Act. It expanded warrantless surveillance, metadata collection and storage, roving wiretaps, lowered the standards for government access to private records, and it created the largest federal reorganization since World War II, the Department of Homeland Security. It consolidated the Immigration, Border Patrol, intelligence, and emergency powers all in one organization. The NSA was given warrantless wiretapping permission. They had a program that operated outside FISA court approval. This program was far broader than publicly disclosed. We have the Military Commission Act under Bush that asserted strong executive authority during wartime without a defined end. And that's where we get the forever wars or forever military conflicts, which we experienced 20 years in Iraq and Afghanistan. Okay, next we have the Obama years, 2009 to 2017. He gave us technocratic expansion, the continuation and expansion of the surveillance programs from Bush. Gave us NSA bulk data collection. It continued under Obama. He didn't stop it. In 2013, Edward Snowden's disclosures showed bipartisan surveillance continuity. So again, doesn't matter, red team, blue team, they all want to surveil you. They all want to put a control grid over the population. They all want more centralized federal power. Under Obama, he had the DACA Act. It was an executive action in 2012. It was a major immigration policy enacted without Congress. Now remember, Obama said something to the likes, if I can't get it done, I will go around Congress and do it myself. All you Obama lovers out there, he set the precedent for unilateral executive immigration authority. You're reaping that result now, but that was set by Obama. DAPA, the 2014 executive action. Now Obama established that major national policy could be attempted without legislation, inviting future abuse by any president. The courts, thankfully, eventually blocked this as unconstitutional. Then we have the Affordable Care Act. It was a structural federal expansion, federal control over private markets. It mandated individual purchasing of health insurance. It centralized regulatory authority. It standardized the insurance products nationwide. Under Obama also, we have the IRS weaponized. It was tasked with enforcing health insurance compliance. It targeted and scrutinized a large majority of conservative organizations and conservative individuals. There was a huge increase in guns and ammo purchases for IRS agents under Obama. We also have the federalization of education by Common Core. So states had to adopt standards to receive federal grants. And finally, under Obama, we have the militarization of federal agencies and police support. So essentially, military equipment was given to local police. So now we have federal government facilitated militarized domestic enforcement. That was brought to you by Obama. Now we have the first Trump presidency, 2017 to 2021. He used the national emergency powers to bypass Congress to fund his border wall. Congress's power of the purse was overridden. So basically, Trump utilized emergency powers because of policy disagreement rather than an actual catastrophe. Under Trump 1, we have expansion of federal law enforcement presence. The DHS, the CBP, and the federal tactical units were sent to cities without state or city consent. It expanded federal policing authority. COVID-19 emergency authorities. Trump himself initiated the first ever shutdown and lockdown for a virus. That was on Trump. 15 days to slow the spread, and that 15 days didn't end at 15 with him. Trump gave precedent and a green light to all little tyrant governors to enact even stricter tyrannical rule in their individual states. Trump set precedents that were later used by the next administration, Biden, which we'll get to next. Trump had Operation Warp Speed, a federal acceleration and liability shielding for big pharma corporations. It centralized public-private control over medical response. Doesn't matter what party it is, red, blue, we're getting the same result. Under Trump, the surveillance state continues. He signs the reauthorization of the FISA Section 702, which grants warrantless collection of foreign communications that incidentally will also include American citizens, so your Fourth Amendment rights are going to get violated if you're talking to somebody overseas. All this despite campaigning against deep state surveillance. Again, they're all in on it. This is all a game being played, and the division of red-blue is just meant to keep you guys divided. All right, Biden, 2021 to 2024. He implements vaccine mandates via OSHA and CMS. So he attempted to impose a nationwide mandate through regulatory agencies on an experimental drug that many people did not want to take, but felt they were forced to because of Biden's policies. Again, government overreach. He had an open border policy. It flooded America with tens of millions of illegals. He expanded the role of the federal agencies, EPA, ATF, the DOJ. They used rulemaking to achieve policy goals without Congress approval. He had digital coordination with the tech platforms and the tech bros for censorship and First Amendment restrictions. So you have state and corporate collusion. You have controlling speech by declaring authority on truth and misinformation. That was Biden. Firearms regulation via executive and agency action. So instead of going through Congress, ATF just makes a rule about ghost guns. ATF just makes a rule about pistol brace reclassifications. Under Biden, he had a continuation of surveillance data, financial oversight expansion. All right, one of those examples is in FinCEN reporting rules for small business ownership data to a federal database. So all small business owners were supposed to fill out this form and submit it to the federal government. It'd be stored in a database. The Trump administration got rid of that, but that was implemented originally under Biden. Biden also continued supporting FISA authorities and surveillance tools. Again, we are turning into a surveillance state. Okay, so here we are now with Trump 2024. We have the implementation of flock surveillance. It is adopted by cities nationwide now with federal grants and data sharing agreements. They are sharing the data with the feds. This is Trump's administration. He is not stopping it. He is allowing it. It is mass location tracking without individual suspicion. It's a huge Fourth Amendment violation. Under Trump now, he's continued the expansion of federal law enforcement presence in cities and states without their consent, as we're seeing right now in Minneapolis. He has the continued sweeping use of executive orders and directives, 225 executive orders in 2025 alone. That's just an expansion of executive power and executive authority. We're giving more and more power to the president. It was many, many years ago during the Obama administration. I had a phone call with a coworker, and she was just so excited and almost bragging about how many executive orders Obama was passing. And I said, hold on, just know that if you're this excited about your guy passing that many executive orders, just know that that gives precedent for the next guy who's not on your team to do the same thing. Again, we have to be very wary of where our principles, our values, and beliefs stand and be consistent in those. Under Trump now, we have a technocrat access to citizenry data held by the federal government. Elon Musk was in there during Doge. Who knows what data he took? They have agreements with Peter Thiel or Palantir as well to scoop up all that data and put it into an AI database. Trump is also expanding with a humongous AI database program. Also, we have a vehicle kill switch provision that is still alive in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Vehicles made from 2026 on will have monitoring system installed for all new passenger vehicles to tell how you are driving. And there was a lot of Republicans that voted against an amendment that would have gotten rid of the kill switch provision. But Republicans voted for it. Again, team red, team blue, doesn't matter. They want to surveil you. They want you under control. This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter who is in office. They will do their individual little things to take away your freedoms, to surveil you, and to have more control over your life and expand the control of the federal government and their authority and power. That is what is happening.